Welcome to the Royal Ties Podcast. My name is Clark, the Financial Credit Coach, and I will be bringing you information acquired through first-hand experiences in order to help you increase your credit score, reduce interest rates, increase savings, and eliminate debts. Doing it for the community, from the community, and by community I mean any and everyone who wants to learn and evolve. So let's get right into it. In today's episode, we'll discuss tips for managing joint credit accounts with a partner or spouse. Joint credit accounts can be a powerful tool for shared financial responsibilities, but they also require careful management and communication. Let's dive in and explore some helpful tips for effectively managing joint credit accounts. Number 1, establish clear communication. What do I mean by that? Be open and honest. So open and honest communication is the foundation of successfully managing joint credit accounts. It's crucial to have clear and frequent discussions about financial goals, spending habits, and responsibilities. Establish a system for regular check-ins to review account activity, upcoming payments, and basically any changes in financial circumstances. So regular check-ins don't have to be a monthly or a 3-monthly. It could just be, hey, babe, how's it been going? What's going on here? Oh, yeah, there's been a change here. Communicate and find out what works for you, because every couple is different, right? But that communication is what is the barrier we want to make sure is not there to make sure that you can effectively have joint accounts with success. Make sense? So basically, the second tip, the biggest tip, I think, is to set shared financial goals. So when I say set shared financial goals, I mean set shared financial goals, determine and align on shared financial goals with your partner or spouse. So this can include saving for a specific purpose, that big house, paying off a debt, that car loan that's been, bothering us forever, or building an emergency fund. You want a fund in case somebody decides that, we want to have a baby. You never know, right? So these are the type of things that you want to be prepared for. But having shared goals helps you stay motivated and make financial decisions that align with your objectives. So regularly track your progress and adjust your strategies as needed. Again, we all need to be held accountable, even in relationships with our partners. So sometimes we can fall off track, and we need to be able to have them say, hey, babe, I understand, but don't forget we got a goal. It's that simple. It's as easy as saying, hey, don't forget we have goals. And that should usually bring people back onto track. Tip number 3, create a budget together. Develop a joint budget that reflects both of your incomes, expenses, and financial obligations. Include all shared expenses such as rent, mortgage payments, utilities, groceries, and debt payments. Allocate responsibilities for different categories and ensure that each partner has a clear understanding of their financial roles and obligations. Tip number 4, establish spending guidelines. So agree on spending guidelines and limits. Basically, when you agree on spending guidelines and limits, you do that to avoid any surprises or conflicts. Determine a threshold for discretionary spending and communicate any large purchases or financial commitments in advance. We want to go on this vacation, babe. Cool, let's plan for it and get there. Not, hey, I booked us a trip. Don't do that. Lead by example. Treat them the way you want to be treated. That's what's extremely important in all of that, right? So when we say, talk about the financial commitments in advance and communicate, this really helps maintain transparency, and it prevents overspending without consultation as well. So sometimes one of the partners can be, what's the word I'm looking for here? Compulsive spender. So by having your partner hold you accountable, it'll kind of put a layer between that compulsive behavior. Tip number 5, regularly monitor account activity. So consistently monitor activity and statements of your joint credit account. You're not doing this to say, are they breaking any rules or they're buying anything? It's just for you to stay aware of what's going on. Sometimes you may be trying to surprise your partner with something and they're trying to surprise you with the same thing. Well, if you're both trying to surprise you, you're not talking to each other about it, it'll show up in a bank account. You'll be like, oh, shoot, babe, did you do this? Yeah, I was going to do that for you too. Oh my God, return yours or I'll return mine, Set up alerts for any unusual transactions or changes to account balances. Regularly review the statements together to ensure accuracy and identify any discrepancies or potential fraudulent activities. That's a big one. If you talk about it together and you both know you didn't make this, well, you know something's wrong and you can report it to Equifax or your amazing financial coach who can help you get that taken off and make sure your credit is protected. Tip number 6, make timely payments. It's essential to make timely payments on your joint credit accounts to maintain a good credit history. Late payments can negatively impact both partners' credit scores and potentially strain your relationship. Definitely it will. So set up reminders or automatic payments to ensure bills are paid on time. Regularly review your payment history together to confirm that all obligations are met. And by doing that, like I said, all the obligations are met. We know that no one's credit's going to be affected because both our names are on it, and no one wants to mess up their credit, and mistakes can happen, but if you are having each other's backs, you avoid those mistakes. Tip number 7, designate responsibility for account management. Assign specific responsibilities for managing joint credit accounts. This can include tracking expenses, reconciling statements, and ensuring payments are made. So divide those tasks based on each person's strengths and availability, and regularly review your progress and make adjustments as needed. I mean, everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. Maybe she's really good at making sure the bills are paid on time, but you're really good at making sure everything gets deposited into the right accounts. So both of you play to your strengths. It's a partnership. It's not an attack. It's not I'm better than you. We're whole. We're better as one. So let's work together as a partnership and go from there. Tip number 8, you can also keep separate individual accounts. While joint credit accounts can be beneficial for shared expenses, it's also important to maintain separate individual accounts. Having individual accounts allows each partner to maintain financial independence, build personal credit history, and have a sense of autonomy over their own finances. So discuss and decide on the appropriate balance between joint and individual accounts that works best for your situation. Listen, like, everybody's an individual to begin with, right? You don't want to feel like everything's going into the account and you really have no control of anything of yourself. Always give yourself a buffer. Always have your own account that you have your own thing so you can surprise your partner, do things for yourself. No one wants to feel like they have to check in with their partner for everything. We definitely don't do that in my household. It's about respect, responsibility, and you giving people the space to live. Make sense? Tip number 9, plan for the unexpected. Man, this is what I do best. This is like my thing. My wife would be the first to tell you. I anticipate and plan for unexpected events or changes in financial circumstances all the time. It's what I do. So discuss how you would handle situations such as a job loss, medical emergencies, or other financial setbacks. Having a contingency plan in place can help alleviate stress and ensure you're prepared to navigate these challenges together. Create a plan. Expect the unexpected. If that plan doesn't come into play and you don't need to spend those funds, that's great. At the end of the year, you can reallocate them to something else. But always plan for the unexpected. Tip number 10, regularly review and adjust. So what does that mean? Regularly review your joint credit accounts, financial goals, and budget to ensure they align with your evolving needs and circumstances. Things change, man. Life changes, such as a career, a switch, or starting a family or purchasing a home may require adjustments to your financial strategies. So stay open-minded, flexible, and be willing to adapt your financial plan as necessary. In conclusion, effectively managing joint credit accounts requires open communication. You have to have shared goals, and you got to be responsible, and you got to have responsible financial behavior. So by establishing clear communication, setting shared financial goals, creating a budget together, monitoring your account actively, making timely payments, and designating tasks to who has the strengths for those tasks is so important. It takes to have a partnership, to have a marriage, to have any kind of relationship on that level. You have to communicate well. You have to be able to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to say, you know what, I'm not so good at this. You have to do that. Also, by, when you designate the responsibilities and then you're keeping separate individual accounts, you're planning for the unexpected, and you're regularly reviewing and adjusting your financial strategies, you will have a successful plan. You can successfully manage joint credit accounts with your partner or your spouse. This is the goal. This is the way. That wraps up this episode on tips for managing joint credit accounts with a partner or spouse. Remember, effective management of joint credit accounts can strengthen your financial partnership and help you achieve your shared financial goals. In case that didn't hit, let's do it again. When you work together and you plan together, you succeed together. The word is together. Honestly, I really, really hope you learned something today. If you did, please like, follow, and share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's bring financial illiteracy to an end. It starts right here with me, Clark, the Financial Credit Coach. I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Let's get it. My name is Clark, the Financial Coach, and my motto is simple: pay attention or pay for lack of attention. Please follow me at Clark, the Financial Coach on Instagram.